Hello and welcome to section 1.4. 1.4 is going to have to do with measuring and classifying different types of angles. We're also going to go ahead and do 1.5 as well in this video. It's just more angle relationships. So, starting off with the basics, an angle is formed by two rays with a common endpoint. So remember, a ray has a point on one end and an arrow on the other end. The endpoint is called the vertex. That's like the corner. The rays are called the sides. And then you're going to name an angle using 3 letters. So the middle letter has to always represent the vertex. You use a single letter if there is only one angle located at that vertex. So when referring to the measure, use a lowercase m. So you would say the measure of angle ABC is equal to 60 degrees. Okay, so the different types of angles, there is acute. And what we mean by acute is less than 90 degrees. Obtuse, greater than 90 degrees. And then right angles. So right angles are exactly 90 degrees. Okay, so example 1, name the vertex of the angle. So the vertex is the corner of the angle. It's where the two endpoints of the rays meet. So that would be K. The sides of the angles are both rays. So it's ray KL and ray KJ. And then just a quick note on that, just remember that you could flip the order on this, but then it would affect the direction the arrow's going. So what I mean by that is if I were going to say JK, I would just have to make sure the arrow stays above the J. So that's also acceptable. Give 3 ways to name the angle. So you could name it just by the vertex because there's only one angle with this vertex. So I could just say it's angle K. I could say it's angle JKL. Or I could say it's angle LKJ. Classify the angle, so we're asking is it acute, obtuse, or right? So this one is greater than 90 degrees, so it is obtuse. Continuing on, name the vertex of angle 2. So the vertex of angle 2 is T. Name the sides of angle 4. So angle 4 has sides TW. Don't forget to do the ray symbol. And TZ. Write another name for angle 3. So I can't say angle T because that's not specific enough since there's a bunch of angles that have T as the vertex. But I could say like angle UTX or angle XTU. Write another name for angle 1. So angle 1 is going to be angle YTX, angle T, could also be angle XTY. Name the sides of angle 5. So the sides of angle 5 are TW as a ray and TY as a ray. Classify angle YTW. So YTW is angle 4. That is a right angle. So also remember this little square here, that means 90 degrees. Classify angle YTU. So that's angle 1 and angle 2 combined. So that is greater than 90 degrees, so that's obtuse. Classify XTU. So XTU, so that's just angle 2, which is tiny. So that's acute. And then WTU. WTU, so that includes angle 3 and 4, which is greater than 90 degrees, so it is obtuse. So that is it as far as that page. Continuing on to the next page. Okay, so the next page here is some different terminology. I made you a graphic organizer to help you keep track of all the different relationships. So a lot of this will be things that you likely learned in 8th grade if you had a decent math teacher. If not, you will learn it today. So the first thing up there at the top is vertical angles. So that's 2 angles across from each other and intersecting lines. They're always congruent. Yeah, so it's going to look like an X. Sorry, it's a little crooked there. And then you would just label it however you want. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So angle 2 is congruent to angle 4, so they're vertical, and angle 1 is congruent to angle 3 in this particular example. Okay, next is adjacent angles. So adjacent angles are 2 angles that are next to each other and share a common side. So let's make a big angle. So 1 and 2. So angle 1 and angle 2 are adjacent. So that doesn't mean they're congruent. They don't have to be congruent. They're just next to each other. Okay, complementary angles. So their sum has to be 90 degrees. So let's give ourselves a picture here. Something like that. So angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 90. There we go. Supplementary is 2 angles whose sum is 180. So remember, 180 is just like a nice flat line. So it could look something like this. So you could say angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 180 degrees. And then our last one is a linear pair, so 2 angles that are adjacent and supplementary. So they have to be next to each other. They can't be 2 separate angles. So we could just say, we could actually fill in numbers this time. So we could say this is like 130 and this would be 50. And those 2 add to 180, so they are a linear pair. Okay, so just to clarify there, the difference between linear pair and supplementary is that linear pair, they have to be adjacent, whereas supplementary, they don't. So let me give you another supplementary example just so you can see, because I know right now they don't look different. So I could have like 2 separate angles like this that when put together, they form a line. Whereas if I say it's a linear pair, they have to be together. They have to be adjacent. All right, so that is that page. And get it to move here. Okay. All right. So next part is finding angle measures. So we have a vertical angle to 112. So we know vertical angles are equal. So that x value would have to be 112. So x equals 112 degrees. Number 2, we've got a set of complementary angles, meaning they add up to 90. So to figure out x, I'm going to take 90 minus 68, which would be 22. Okay, next is 2 angles that form a line, so they're a linear pair or supplementary. So I would take 180 minus 124, which is 56 degrees. Okay, this next one we have a little bit of work to do. So I would start off with solving for y, because that's a vertical. So I know that has to be equal, so it's 43. And then if I want to find x and z, I know that they form a line with 43 degrees. So I need to take 180 minus 43, which is going to be 137. So this is 137 and this is 137. Okay, next up. So again, y is vertical to 72. So I'm going to say that's 72. Then I know that this here is 90. Okay, so I also know that y, 90, and z would have to add up to 180 because they form a line all together. This line here, they all add up to 180 to form that line. So to figure that out, I would have to take 180 minus 90 minus 72, which is 18. So I know that's 18. And then the last thing I have to find is x. So to find x, I know that y and x form a line, so they have to add up to 180. So I just take 180 minus 72, which is going to be 108. So lots of steps there. Okay, this next part we will do numbers 6 and 8 together, and I'm going to let you try 7 and 9 on your own. So 6 is angle 1 and angle 2 are vertical. If the measure of angle 2 is 105, find the measure of angle 1. So we know vertical angles are equal, so angle 1 would also be 105. Angle P and Q are supplementary, so that means they add up to 180. Find the measure of angle Q, if the measure of angle Q is 64, find the measure of angle P. So we'd have to go 180 minus 64, which is 116. Okay, so you can try 7 and 9 on your own and then check your answers in the key on Classroom. All right, and then we're going to do one of these together. I'm going to let you try the other two on your own. So I'm going to do the last one with you, 12, because I think that's a little bit more challenging. So if angle K and M is 8x minus 5, so I'm going to fill that in, 8x minus 5, and angle M and J, so M and J is 4x minus 19. Find angle K and M. So K and M. So we're trying to find that 8x minus 5. So what I notice about these two angles is that they form a line, so they have to add up to 180. So I'm going to say 8x minus 5 plus 4x minus 19 equals 180. Simplifying, that's 12x minus 24 equals 180. So x would have to be 17. And then my ultimate goal is to find the measure of the angle. So I need to plug x in. So angle K and M is going to be 8 times 17 minus 5, which is 131. So that is angle measures. And I believe that's it. Yeah, so that's it. We'll see you next time.